we are at Champo Road Fishing Area. Here's Mike. Mike Tracy.
They don't need my whole name.
Now, it's a little windy out here, so I'm hoping everything will work out. Maybe I can put the trash bag.
You know, maybe if you pour a little wine, I don't have to hold these cups all day.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. First, we got to make sure that the wind is kind of blocked.
That's going to supply some wine here.
There we go. All right, so.
I don't see any label on the bottle.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so what is this, Mike?
It looks like it's a red wine.
Yeah, but what kind?
I don't know.
You know what kind, because I mentioned it over there.
I think you said it was a Tempranillo.
I did. And who made this?
God made it.
We made it, man. So here's a little Spanish red while we cook.
That's good, thank you.
This is, we're going to be making some chicken pesto. Hold on.
They'll light the bag on fire.
Yeah, I'm going to put this here as weight and to hide it. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
So I already have everything prepped. That's tasty.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's better now than when we bottled it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's smoother. Less of a bite.
It tasted more like a Pinot before. Now it tastes more like a Tempranillo.
Yeah. So we got I'm not making it 100% from scratch because we're doing it out here like your camping style. So I've got some pre-cooked chicken broken into like little pieces. I got cherry tomatoes cut in half lengthwise. Got some pre-made pesto. And the pasta's par cooked, so it's not fully cooked yet, but it's almost cooked. It's just under al dente. And we got some sherry and chicken stock.
And you're going to be making?
I already said chicken pesto.
Yeah.
All right. So first things first is we're going to put the chicken in. I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit because the wind is not necessarily our friend today.
New stove item.
Yeah. I've got that grill looking one. So we can put the chicken in. Now because it's already pre-cooked, I mean, we don't have to wait as long for it to brown or get the Maillard reaction. We're just gonna wait till it starts to get hot, and then we'll just add in these ingredients as we go. And Mike will stupidvise this to make sure I don't fuck it up, right?
That's right. Because you know why?
Because Mike always takes accountability. He takes full
responsibility.
Full responsibility for my actions.
For his screw-ups.
All right.
Which is all the time.
Now, if we were doing this with raw chicken, you would get chicken breast and then cut them into
bite-sized pieces.
Little bite-sized pieces. Using the paper bag as a shield. It was doing something. And that's what I don't like about cooking outside. There's like so much wind that it redirects heat. But this will work. I'll just turn it up a little higher. If it runs out of fuel, I got another can.
You get a delivery here?
Yeah, that's my new attitude. Now, normally I'd wait until the oil was hot. You put the pan first so the pan gets the temp. You know, this is what pisses me off about filming. When I first got here, I wanted to start the video on the cooking. But of course, the landscaper came. And so I wasn't able to. Then I was like, all right, well, wait. You showed up, and now wind. It wasn't this breezy.
It's always breezy.
It wasn't this breezy while I was prepping. That's what pisses me off.
Because the sun was out. Now it's cloudy and getting breezy and cool.
Yeah. Well, we got the oil, and the chicken in the oil is simmering up a little bit. So once the chicken is to temp, because remember, this is already pre-cooked. We're just getting it to temp. We don't want it to dry out, so we don't want to put the temp too high and like brown it more. We just want it hot so it keeps the moisture that's in there. And then once that's done, then we add the tomatoes like such. And we'll just let that go, stirring occasionally until the tomatoes are a bit softened up. I'll turn the heat up just a little more. See, because of the wind, I have to turn it up higher, but the higher I turn it up, the quicker the fuel is going to go through. But fortunately, this is one of those things where really you're just getting things to heat and then simmering it just for a couple minutes with the pasta. Then add the pasta. And the pasta just it'll get the perfect al dente just sitting in the hot simmering liquid. So we don't need to careful worry too much. Which way is the... Man, I hate filming outside. It makes you look like an amateur because nothing ever goes right, man. All right. I can hear some simmerings. So, and because of the angle, like I can't even tell which way. Oh, well, I guess the wind is in theory going that way, right?
It's a swirling wind today, so the direction keeps changing.
Yeah, because it was coming from that direction just a minute ago.
From different places.
There we go. There we go. You see some bubblings? There we go. You can see some steam coming up. I don't know if you can see it from
I see the steam.
That angle in the camera, but we've got some...
It's cooking.
Simmerings going on, just like that. Now, normally I'd wait until the tomatoes were completely
This
soft.
is good. It's still got a little bit of a new bite, but it's good. Tasty.
Normally I'd wait till the tomatoes were more softened.
I'm more excited about this now.
That's great. But because we need to conserve fuel, we're going to add some of the other stuff first. One of the things is some chicken stock, preferably, but I'm going to use chicken broth. Not a lot, just, you're not covering what's in there. You just, like, maybe halfway spread out the stuff and then pour in some broth to the halfway point. Oh, you can take that back with you and make a soup out of it. And while that gets the temp, I will have some wine with Mike.
Let's keep this over here where it's safe.
What, it's safe when it's away from you?
It's covering the plates. Plates aren't going to fly.
Good call, good call.
After all, I'm taking full responsibility. I gotta avoid your screw-ups.
That's right. I'm going to wait till this starts to boil, and then we'll add the pesto. What, no stogie?
I didn't bring any.
Would you like a Pall Mall Select Red?
No thanks. I've never taken a drag on a butt in my life.
I've taken one too many. Yeah, we'll let that do its thing.
I've done a little bit on a funny stick a couple times.
On a what?
Funny stick. Boom.
Oh, yeah. Some marijuana. Would you like some of that?
I took twice. No thanks.
Oh, man.
You know I don't do that stuff.
It's a little clogged. I got to unclog it.
Yeah, many years ago I tried it a couple times. Didn't like it.
The last time you smoked, they didn't even have vape pens.
Of course not.
You know why? Because the industry wasn't taking responsibility for its own actions.
It was homegrown.
There we go. It's starting to do its thing. We're going to, let it do its thing for a couple minutes. Maybe reduce down the broth just a little bit.
Yep.
See, what a lot of people do when they make pasta, like especially like spaghetti, is they'll just boil the pasta, put the pasta on the plate, and then just ladle a crap load of sauce on it. Or they'll just cook the pasta and then dump like pesto into it and mix it up. The right way is, you got to do it in a pan, man. You want the pasta coated. You don't want it liquidy all around, There we go. It's doing its thing. See, the wind slowed down a little bit. So we're just going to let that chicken stock kind of soften up those tomatoes, absorb into the chicken and reduce a little bit. But, and normally when you have your pasta out like that, you would coat it with a little oil so they don't stick. But that already has oil coated. It's gonna be a good meal, man. And then this is my little twist. We add a little dry sherry to it right at the end. We don't cook the alcohol out. There we go. Some of those tomatoes are starting to shrivel up. Some of the skins are starting to come off. Was it busy for you this morning?
It wasn't bad. I'm not complaining.
Like most of the way through your goal?
Well, I thought it would be nice if I walked out of here with 50. I got 43.
It's all right. That means all you got to do is like 57 and you'll have 100 for the day.
That ain't going to happen.
Yeah, well, out here, dinner time.
No, dinner time at home, I want to do that.
Mm.
Crepes. Yesterday, I could only get 75 on dinner.
I'm 2/3 of the way through mine. I'm at 60. Oh, here come the feds. They're coming to get you, Mike.
Yeah, they heard me say I did it. I took a token of bone a couple times.
Yeah, and they smell the wine, they smell the sherry. And they're here because you didn't take responsibility for my actions yesterday in busting my brake line.
You got it fixed quickly. What happened? How'd you do that?
Oh, I just went to AutoZone, bought a new hose, jacked up the van, removed the wheel, undid the brackets holding the hose, and then used 2 vice grips to separate the metal brake line from the connector on the rubber one. Then I...
Short answer is you fixed it yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's damn good.
With some assistance from my buddy Bob, because he was working, fortunately.
He was working this
Yeah.
morning. Was that early?
No, it was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah, just before dinner shift. But he was there until about 3, so I was able to get it done.
Get some assistance.
All right, there we go. These tomatoes are softening up now. Before it reduces any more, now we're going to add some pesto. I'm actually going to take out some of this oil. Now, normally you would want to save that oil to cook with at another date. You can always freeze pesto in your freezer. But we're going to add the pesto, but we're going to leave 2 spoons, in fact, let me get it all to one side. We're going to leave 2 spoons worth for garnishing at the end. Yep. We go like that, and then we'll stir that in. Like that. Now you're gonna notice I'm not using any salt and pepper. That's because the chicken, the pre-cooked chicken, already has herbs and stuff like that. The pesto has some spice, some garlic, and obviously basil and stuff like that. And the pasta was cooked in salted water. So we don't need to do that. You can always add salt, but you can't necessarily remove it. So yeah, now we'll let that do its thing. Yeah, man, this is good, huh? It got rid of that vibrant bite, and now it's like this smooth with body. You notice the tannins are there, so it coats the milk.
Oh yeah,
just like a red wine should. Yeah, that's really good. Yep, so now we will literally just let that boil down. For the most part, we'll just let it reduce a little bit. I'm going to unclog my vape pen. Got to build up my appetite.
Get yourself a case of the munchies, huh?
I like how the new vape pens, instead of it just being a hole with like a little chamber or whatever, on the bottom now, they put a carb. So like you can stop the air, or you can blow hard through it and you can unclog it. I haven't used this one in several days, so it's pretty clogged. There we go. Now I just hope that the battery is good.
The white light is on.
When it blinks, that means it's dying or dead. Now which side is the damn wind coming?
It's coming from the northeast.
Your reflexes are a little slow, buddy.
What else is new?
Put it on this side.
Okay.
There we go. See how it's starting to bubble more? That's because now the wind's coming from this direction.
Sun's coming out again. That's a good thing.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your rotini pasta that tomorrow there'll be pesto.
You know, there's a reason why you didn't get the part.
Why is that?
You sing
It
so
can't
well.
be because my singing's bad. I know I'm like...
It couldn't be that, no.
I know my singing is,
Because you got blonde hair.
you know,
You have-
fabuloso.
You have to be a redhead
You have to be a redhead in order to sing?
in order to play the part.
Oh.
The part comes with requirements.
There we go. Letting it do its thing. Now, when I make this at home and I make the pesto, I use basil, garlic, Parmesan cheese, and I toast slivered almonds in a pan. Put it all in a blender. So I don't use pine nuts. I use toasted slivered almonds. Or almond bits. Just as long, because I mean, it's all going to get ground up anyways, but just so that you can toast them, you know? But yeah, there we go. Look at that, huh? Simmering away.
Looks good. Smells good.
Now we want to keep just enough liquid so that once we put the pasta in, the par-cooked pasta will absorb some of the liquid and just leave a slightly creamy coating around the pasta. Yeah, look at that, huh? That's starting to look real good. And Russ, if you're watching this, this is a meal you should try. It's very easy, one pan.
Even you can make this meal.
Even you can make. Even Mike says even you can make this for us. So now we'll take, let's say 2.5 ounces of sherry, dry sherry. Mix that up in there. Let it regain temp. And then we'll add the pasta. This is so good. Give it a stir so that sherry blends nicely into all the other stuff. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this pasta. But I'm just going to let it sit on top for a minute so that some of that moisture gets absorbed. Go like that. Just spread it out.
Is this recipe in your cookbook?
No, but it will be in the updated version.
Coming out?
Maybe by the end of the year. It's going to be the Tompkins family. Tompkins Table Eats or Tompkins Family Eats. I don't know. Tompkins House Eats. It's going to be all the recipes from my mom's, like growing up, that my mom made. Recipes that my aunt made for her family. My recipes. Basically, the Tompkins household. Because my dad, so my aunt is my dad's brother's wife. So she's a Tompkins too, because she married Dennis Tompkins, and my dad's Frederick Tompkins. And my mom married him, obviously. So that's why it'll be the Tompkins Family Eats. The meals that the Tompkins family grew up on or learned later in life, such as me. Hopefully there might be some recipes from my my cousins, because they're Tompkinses too, and they're all men. So the name is still there. All right. Now that it's bubbling through the pasta, now I'm just going to stir it in. And just stir occasionally until the pasta is al dente. If need be, you can always add a little more stock. I wouldn't necessarily add more sherry, but you can add more stock, which I might do. Just a little bit though, not too much. Now, normally you would want to add already preheated stock. You wouldn't add cold stuff to the pan, especially when you're cooking things like grain, like rice or pasta. You know, like it can mess up the cooking process and the texture of it a little bit. We'll get this nice and flat so that the steam can come up through and cook the top layer of pasta. And we're almost ready, buddy. Almost. Almost. Once that pasta is heated and softened, We'll add just a little bit of shredded parm to absorb any last bit of moisture. And then we'll plate it, garnish it, and fucking eat. You know what I mean? I'm all about eating, as you can see. Man, I think this year I'm going to lose weight. This is the biggest I've been my entire life.
Don't hold your breath.
Usually I don't have, like, the last 4 or 5 years I've had a gut. I used to never have a gut. Then again, that's what happens when you reach a certain age. You either have to cut down on what you used to eat or work out, and that's not going to happen. I'm not going to a gym, although I should, but I just don't have the patience.
You don't have to go to a gym to work out.
There we go. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think one cigarette, it'll be done in about 1 cigarette. Who needs an egg timer? You know? Soft boiled, 1 cigarette. Medium boiled, smoke the cigarette all the way to the end, put it out, wash your hands, and come back. For hard boiled, 2 cigarettes back to back. Or 1 cigarette and like a few hits. You know what I mean? That's how you time things. And by the time you're done with 1 glass of wine, the appetizer should be gone and the main should be coming out.
The easiest to have a bullet every day for breakfast.
A what?
A bullet.
A bullet? What's that?
Hard-boiled egg.
Oh, yeah? That's what you call it?
Yeah. He'd put it on, go upstairs, take a shower, come downstairs. Before he put on the coffee and the bullet. When he came downstairs, coffee and the bullet were done.
Percolated coffee, right?
Yeah. The old-fashioned way.
So I'm just going to let that cheese sit on top.
So there was Java in his bullet.
That way, as some of the juice, the sauce is like bubbling through the pasta.
Yep.
The cheese will absorb some of it. But we're almost done, buddy. Almost done. Almost time to plate and garnish. Now, remember, this is not like how I would cook it in a kitchen or indoors. I'm using like cheap ingredients, par-cooked pasta, pre-cooked chicken. It's not the same, but, oh, and normally what I would do is I would put like julienne up some sun-dried tomatoes, you know. And I would have had a lot more pesto to add more if needed. All right, we'll give it a little stir so that the rest of that cheese can absorb some of the sauce. Notice when I drag the spoon, you don't see liquid falling too quickly in, like you see the bottom of the pan, and then the liquid comes in. So that's all we're doing. We're just letting those juices reduce down and let the pasta absorb and the cheese absorb, so that by the time we're done, we're left with chicken pesto pasta. And when you put it on the plate, you shouldn't see water or liquid.
Should be a big puddle.
Yeah. There we go. Wow. Look, it's a Mike Wannabe. It's a hatchback with the rack on it.
Smell the food. They're coming in now.
These bastards. But is that a boobaroo? No, it's not.
It's an imposter.
They got a snorkel on that for some reason, I think. Oh, no, they're lights.
What, do you think that it's going to drive right in the pond?
Well, you know, some, like, they
With
do
the
some
snorkel?
off-roading. You know, there's water on the trail. You know, they don't want to flood their or drown their engine. But yeah, see, it's just about done. As I said, one cigarette and it's done. Pinch that out. Throw that in there. There we go. There we go. No liquids, really, just pasta, chicken, pesto, and cherry tomatoes. All right, we'll turn the heat off. We'll give one noodle a taste, just a perfect al dente. All right. Another thing, well, I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so now for some plating. The way I would plate it indoors would be you get some pasta. Normally you use a bigger spoon, but put it in the middle of the plate. Make sure there's like chicken and tomatoes, you know. The people got to get the good stuff, you know what I mean? Like that. Oh, get the other one too. Guys got to eat. Just like that. Bam. We'll save some for Bob.
Is he coming?
No, but he said he was going to swing by the area later. So I was like, all right, I'll save you a bowl.
Is he working today?
He doesn't work there anymore.
He doesn't work there anymore.
No, he works at, he's now a maintenance for the town.
For which town?
Oxford.
Oxford.
All right, so then what I do is I put some Parmesan cheese on top, like that. Then you put a little dollop of pesto. Like that. Then, normally I would put a basil leaf, like edged off, and a tomato covering the stem of the basil leaf. But I don't have any basil left over because that was pre-done pesto. So we'll just top it up with just the tomato and then one more sprinkling of cheese on top. And there you have it.
All righty, man.
Chicken pesto.
Chicken pesto.
Here's this. Here, you can use this one.
All right, that's right.
Nope, that's my special fork. You know that.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Now, normally you would have white wine with this, but I'm all Chardonnayed out. I've had a lot of it over the last few days, or while I was up in Maine. So we're having the Tempranillo today. Cheers, Mike. And yeah, let's do a cheers here, a toastage and a tastage.
It's delicious.
Have you tasted it yet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Treat.
That's tasty.
Good job. Thank you.
And for the most part, except for the tomatoes and the shredded parm, you can get all this stuff at the dollar store. or like Family Dollar. Basically, you can feed 4 regular person portions for like, on average, $20 for just, but it's exponential. So meaning that if you just spend another $5-10 more, now you can feed like 8 to 10 people, you know. And it's good quality, you know. I'll put some more cheese. Oh, also, I would put butter. Just before serving, I would put several slabs of butter in there and toss it until the butter's melted. And that's more texture and creamy, creamy texture and flavor. Secret to cooking, butter. You can never use too much butter. You wonder why restaurant vegetables taste so good? Butter. The secret to mashed potatoes, so much butter that if people found out, they would be horrified. Do you agree with that, Mike, or is that against your religious principles?
I don't cook in restaurants.
I'm just saying, whenever you cook at all.
Butter's a good thing, but it can be overdone.
Sacrilegious. Blasphemy. No. Yep. And notice how there's not a puddle of liquid on the plate?
After you just sucked it all up.
Well, even then, after I ate it, there would still be a puddle. All this is just oil from the pesto. Maybe a little sweating from the cheese. But yeah, if you're drowning your pasta to the point where, Mike, you're not taking responsibility. If you're drowning your pasta to the point where there's a puddle, then you're doing it wrong. Unless, of course, maybe if you're having bread with it and it's like a red sauce or a meat sauce, maybe having enough sauce so that some's out there so you can take your bread.
Do dippies.
And do a little dippies. Yeah. Let's feed the fishes. Oh, that did go. It bounced off the pavement and into the whatever. Yeah, so what do you think, Mike? Was that good?
It's delicious. Like I said, it's a treat.
Another meal by Chef Homeboy RD of the Ghetto Gourmet.
Spontaneous meal.
Yeah. You know, I wanted to do a cooking show years ago called the Ghetto Gourmet. And what it would be is I would have people contact me and I would pick from them, like randomly, or not randomly, but, you know, with some purpose. And then if I pick them, they agree that I will show up randomly. And I want to say like within at least 30 days, at most 60 days, where I just show up. And now I'll tell you why about that in a second. My throat's dry. But I just show up to their place within 30 to 60 days, and I have to cook a restaurant-worthy meal, a restaurant-worthy meal, only using whatever they have, you know.
Somebody did that.
What?
Somebody did that.
Now, do you know why I say 30 or 60 days? That way they can't set me up. You know, like they're fully prepared, and the only thing they have in the house when I arrive is like peanut butter and squid. You know, like, come on now. At least in 30 to 60 days, they might get complacent thinking, oh, he's not showing up today. You know, and they make a meal and then there's leftovers in the fridge. Or they did shopping for the week and most of it is still there by the time I show up, you know? Because like if I said, oh, I'll be there on this particular day, people would just like purposely like set me up to fail with like sardines and watermelon or something. You know, it's like, what the fuck? You know, so it's got to be spontaneous, random, and they agree that it will be within 30 to 60 days. But you're saying someone that's already a show?
Somebody did that years ago. Where I don't know if he just showed up at people's houses randomly or if they were notified in advance that he'd be coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there was advance notice and stuff, but he'd show up at people's homes, make them a gourmet meal based on whatever they had in their larder.
I mean, I guess that would be
through their larder, and
I guess that would be one of those things where like you show up with your film crew and you just go to a neighborhood and knock on doors and be like, hey, we're doing a show. I know this is off guard, so I didn't bother you, but how about we see if I can make a restaurant quality meal out of just whatever the hell you got in the house. And if they agree, they agree. But see, then you're knocking around. Then you got to pay people for the time that they're out there, like knocking on doors with you. Like the whole film crew's got to be ready to go, you know? So far, I don't know. I wouldn't have that budget. So mine would have to be like scheduled, you know, to show up. Because of the idea is that like it could be a trailer in a trailer park, or it could be like Maynard, Keenan Maynard, Maynard Keenan, the guy from Tool. The only thing he ever has in his fridge, back in like 2000, 2000, between 2004 and 2008, the only thing he ever had in his fridge was like bottled water for the most part, you know.
or beer.
No, not, he has a winery now. Him and his wife, Lee, and otherwise known as Jennifer. I know her, but when I knew her, she was just his personal assistant. You know what I mean? I even like, it was my first time out in California, and like me and a group of friends were out there, and we crashed at her house, like, you know, like different. This is before they got married, and now she's married to him, to the lead singer of Tool. That's crazy. But anyways, it was, yeah, he always had like bottled water. That's it. He wasn't I don't believe he was a smoker. He was like you would think for being the lead singer of Tool, which is, you know, a metal rock kind of band, that he'd be like one of those drinking all night, smoking cigarettes and eating day old pizza and just like rocking it out. But no, he was I mean, nowadays I don't know, but at the time he was very liberal and very Hollywoodish, as in like not rock. Like his lifestyle wasn't necessarily rock. Like it was more. I live in the Hollywood Hills, and I've got a. He had horses, I believe, up at by the original Bat Caves in the Hollywood Hills. The original Bat Caves with Adam West, that Bat Cave, that's up in the Hollywood Hills, and there's a stable there. He had some horses there, and bottled water in his fridge. I think salmon, might have salmon fillets. Wore suits. I don't know how to explain it. Like from the East Coast, the only way to explain it, California liberal, Hollywood liberal, is what he was. Not that that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying, like, you would think, oh, lead singer of Tool. He's got to be like a rock star. He's got to be like smoking like a, chain smoking like crazy and pounding booze. No. But what was that all about? Oh, yeah, for the show. Yeah, so like showing up to his, so it could be a trailer from a trailer park, or it could be like someone like the lead singer of Tool, just because they have a nice house and a mansion in Hollywood Hills doesn't mean that they have a nice array of food in their kitchen. I'm sure like almost half those people, they don't cook. They got a team.
A personal chef.
Yeah, like they're not cooking. So going to a trailer park though, you might come across like a wide range of spices, everything from like crushed red pepper to adobo. Yeah, have some more. You want more?
I want more, sure. Well, thank you, sir. You gonna have some more?
I'm gonna save some for Bob. Oh yeah, so you go to a rich mansion, they might not have anything in their kitchen. They might just eat out all the time. Or you go to a trailer park and they've got fresh venison, from a hunt. You don't know. So that's why it's not about, just got to go to middle class houses for the show. No, it's wide, all kinds of life. I'll tell you right now that when it comes to family meals outside of my family, but like when I went to friends' houses, every now and then to spend the night or for the day as like a hangout, it was the lower middle class to lower class families that always had the best fucking food, Go to one friend's house and it'd be like Spanish rice and like homemade patillos, which are these like meat pocket things, Or you go to like my buddy Sean's house where the fancy thing was just cheeseburgers on a toasted English muffin, which was good. That's how I like my burgers now. But like, yeah, man, just because someone has more money does not mean that they're eating better, I find that middle class and under tends to have more cultural meals too. Like the upper class think that they have cultural meals, but they're going to like restaurants and, it's Americanized or it's just like ostentatious, a little pretentious, where if you go to a working class, middle to lower class household, and let's say they're Puerto Rican, I mean, you're eating some straight up Puerto Rican food, It's like the difference between eating at like, what's her name? Ariana Grande's house or eating at like Stephen Quinones's house in Chelsea, Mass. Like both are of a Latino descent, but one has this rich lifestyle where she's like going to high quality restaurants. Maybe she still has some family members every now and then, they'll have like meals, but nah, you go to like random Stephen Quinones's house in Chelsea and you're eating all kinds of like authentic stuff, you know. I noticed that with the Latino families. Like I go to visit a buddy that was like from either Mexican or Puerto. It's always like a plate of rice and beans, you know. Good shit. It's peaceful, huh?
It is.
Is your first time here since? Were we here already? We were. What did we do?
Brought sandwiches.
That's right, from McNuck's. I did a video about a McNuck sandwich, I believe. You should go to the Eats playlist and check out that video. Oh yeah, it's called the Sicilian. In the Eats playlist, the video, it was a Sicilian sandwich. It was good. I gave it a decent rating. I was gonna minus them a point because I asked for vinegar peppers and they put banana peppers. But then it occurred to me that the kid that made my sandwich was like 19, 20, you know, really young. I don't think his experience yet in food and stuff, he would know what vinegar peppers are. So he probably just assumed that that was like jalapeno, you know, the peppers in the jar, sliced peppers in a jar. So instead of taking a point off, I forgave it. But I think I gave them a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, so my ratings for the food reviews is there's 4 because you know how rating can be subjective. So how do you make something that's subjective be as objective as possible? Well, I came to the conclusion that you divide it into 4 parts, right? And each part is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. Then you add them all up and divide by 4. And that'll be your, so a total, like the most you could get is 40. Oh, wait, no, what is it? 10. Yeah. But it's 10 isn't divisible by 4 evenly, but it works out because I never give it perfect. You know what I mean? Because there's always room to grow. So the first section is quality and freshness of the ingredients and the product itself. So not just the food, but like the individual ingredients. Like, was it from a canned source? Was it fresh that day? Or is it something that probably sat there in a bin for a couple days in the walk-in or something? So the quality and freshness of the ingredients in the product, the taste, the portion size, and the price in relation to what you could get of any other kind of food from any other kind of restaurant or place or make yourself, you know, is the price like, you know, reasonable? So with McNuck's, it was, I believe I gave an 8 or an 8.5 for freshness, quality of, and freshness of the ingredients and the product. I believe I didn't go higher because of the fact that there's always things that you can do to bring your game up. Like they don't make their own rolls. You know, no, it's a sub shop. You're not expected necessarily, but if they also made their own rolls, well, that would be a significant difference, you know?
Plus, yeah.
And then also, yeah, I think that was the only reason I didn't go like a 9. Or maybe I did, I don't remember. And then for the taste, I believe I gave a 7 or a 7.5. And that's because, yeah, it's all fresh, but like, it's not like they go all out and use like, you know, special spices or, you know, sprout, you know, like it was your basic Italian sandwich. You know, it wasn't anything to write home about. And it was with like iceberg lettuce, which tasteless, you know. You know, it was just standard Italian sandwich in New England, you know. So I gave it like a 7, which is good considering what it was. And then portion size, I believe I gave a 7 to a 7.5. And I think the main reason was because a large is technically only $8.99, and a small is $6.99. You now, granted, the small and the large have the same sub size or the same sliced bread size, but they put double meat, double cheese. But it's still only $8.99, and it's Boar's Head, which is a really nice product. You know, so $8.99. Even if you went to Burger King, that's not going to give you one of. That's not even going to give you one of the value meals. You might get like a Whopper, maybe, you know, but I mean, that's all you're going to get. But for $8.99 at McNuggets, you get a decent sized sub
yeah.
where you can even eat half of it. And if you had to leave right away, you're not sitting there going, oh man, I'm still hungry. I need to eat more. You know, you'd be all right. Do you want to eat the whole thing? Yes, but like you could eat half of it, and you know, so good portion size. And then the price, I believe I also gave a 7.5 or an 8 for that very reason. Now, things that factored in on lower scores was they're inconsistent. You'll go in there one day and order a large soft roll Sicilian, right? And you pay $8.99 for it, but when you go to eat it, you realize that they didn't put double meat, double cheese. Or you go there, you order a small, it has double meat, double cheese, but you only got charged $6.99, which obviously, hey, that's good. But it all depends on who makes it. You know, some people, their small amount is what this guy's large amount is. And two, they always seem to screw something up with me. Like if I ask for vinegar peppers, they won't have it. They won't put it in. Or if I wanted romaine lettuce or baby spinach instead of iceberg, it'll end up having shredded iceberg. You know, so like the consistency. But I believe I didn't actually take a point off for that, only because they're usually busy every time I go in. You know what I mean?
Oh, they are slammed.
Yeah. So I mean, they're gonna make mistakes, but overall, I believe I gave it a 7, and I ended up with like a 7.5, between a 7 and an 8.
It's a good thing you're not rambling on.
Yeah.
I think you'd have too much temper and it'll make you ramble on.
And a little buzzed. Next week, I have to do I got invited to do a food review at Enrico's Pizza.
Oh boy.
Yeah. They're going to make me, I don't even know what it's going to be. They're going to make me a small pizza, and I'll sit down with the camera in the restaurant and give a review.
I think they make a brick oven pizza there.
Yeah, I mean, they have, from what I hear, they're overpriced, but I don't want to like learn too much about them, because the whole point is to like just randomly, I've never eaten there. I've walked in a couple of times to do like pickups, but yeah, I got invited to do a food review next week. So I'll just go in there randomly, sit down, and whatever pizza they bring me, they bring me. What, do you want some more?
Please.
I don't know. Do you think he deserves some more of the wine that he made? Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
What do you mean, whoa?
That's enough.
That's not a glass.
That's enough.
I need more.
Of course.
And you see what I mean? Like, I know you're saying it's red. It's not fully red. There's a slight rust color to it. I'm telling you. Like, look at the edge there. It's not red. There's a slight rust to it. See, there's red.
It's a red wine.
I know it's a red wine, but even Pinot Noir, Cabernet,
yeah, the dark.
They're red or more purpley red. You know, this is a rusty red, because here's straight normal red.
Yeah.
And see the difference? There's like an orange hue to it. Well, you're looking at yours. Compare this red next to the rim. See? It's got an orangey.
I get it.
I don't think you get it. Do you think he gets it, people? Oh,
Cheers.
Tasty McJenkins. It's a good thing I don't babble too much.
That would be a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Have some more.
No, I had 2 already.
pathetic.
Leave that for you and Bob.
No, I'm not gonna eat it. I don't think.
You won't eat all that.
Here, do your job. I'll do my job. Got to clean up and set this all on fire. Plastic and all. All right, so you're gonna take this and this.
No, you need that for when you serve Bob. You got to put a little,
I should.
put a
Yeah,
little bit on top.
yeah.
You didn't serve him the dollop of pesto.
He doesn't deserve it. No. Well, I did. You know, it is what it is.
Here you go, sir. Good, sir.
He wasn't here to enjoy the meal with us. He can not get pesto. Nah, he was a little busy. All right, so I'm gonna take some of this stuff. Anyways, I think that'll do it for this video, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, we cooked. I talked.
We cooked, we ate. We cooked, you cooked and rambled, and I ate.
And we had some wine.
We're having some wine.
One more cheers, bud.
Cheers.
Yeah, that really mellowed out and balanced out pretty quick.
No label wine.
Huh?
No label wine.
I don't want to waste the labels.
Where'd you get this stuff?
We already went over that. We made it.
We made it.
Yeah. Bungalow Country Wines. Anyways, that'll do it for this video.
All right.
We'll see you in the next one. Well, Mike has a phone call, probably from Bob. No.